Good evening, this is Kuro and number 2. Hey, put down the remote, buddy. Got a tier 7 game in my Akatsuki, trying a different gun build with it, going over the matchmaking. Got enemy Ryujo. Radar-wise, got a Leander. And that rounds out the radar threats. Enemy DD, only got one DD this game, is an enemy Mayhan. All in all, I'm pretty happy with this matchmaking, and you know, we're gonna give this build a try. This is a build that I basically tested earlier on my YouTube page, but figured since I'm going through again testing gunboat builds, I'll give the old AFT build a shot. This is a 14-point captain. Pretty much running my standard Japanese destroyer captain, preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert, and AFT, rounding out everything. The next 3 points would go into basic firing training, and the last 2 points I would probably put into adrenaline rush. You want back up here, buddy? Okay. So it's a standard battle, so there's no cap for me really to push hard. So what I want to do, I want to come out here on the flank. I just want to, you know, get into a position where I can basically kite away if I need to without running into islands or anything. And also by coming out here, I'm gonna tend to get more broadside torpedo shots on ships as they try to angle to my team. First ship up is a La Galissiniere, or however the hell you say it. I see him turn in, and I just dump my torps, and I just keep moving south until I spot the this Indianapolis pops up, and that pretty much means it's time for me to start turning around, simply because his radar, if I stay within I believe it's 10-kilometer radar, it was 9.9, I think it got buffed. I'll have to double check it after the game, but I don't want to lose the ability to control when I'm detected, when I'm not. The Galissiniere, he might have had hydro up, whatever. He turns out, avoids my torpedoes. I'm turned around and kiting, so I feel pretty safe opening fire here, plus the Indianapolis is kiting back. And at this point, I'm just switching targets to the Scharnhorst. I've got speed boost active, and I'm just changing my speed a bit. Oh, hi. And just looking to juke anybody that would be trying to shoot at me, particularly at this sort of range. This is not an easy shot to hit on a destroyer this fast. I mean, you can see I'm, you know, everywhere between dead stop and 41 knots. And this ship, especially on speed boost, will change speed extremely quickly. This is basically the low tier Shimakaze. The only thing that this thing's missing that Shima has is the detection. At 6.4, this is obviously much higher detection than a Shima. Now with basic firing training, I can knock about 3/4 of a second off this reload, and it'll be pretty nasty. You know, right now I probably could drop AFT and pick up basic firing training and be 1 point away from adrenaline rush right now. This was just to kind of test how boats feel with AFT, and treat it kind of like almost the old-fashioned stealth firing meta, except obviously you're not able to stealth fire, you're just going to evade shots. like you do in, well, not really so much a Russian boat, but in its own manner, you're going to gunboat. So I'm looking to see what this Scharnhorst is going to do. If I need to dump torps, I'm in a position. He goes down, so I just start shifting to the next target. What I'm seeing, we've got another Scharnhorst pushing in with the Indianapolis, and I'd really prefer to torp the Scharnhorst, but with his angle and how fast he is, I'm not able to actually dump torps on him behind this island, so I'm pretty sure this Indianapolis is going to turn in. So I look for the turn, and I just lead it. I just lay a nice torpedo wall out there. And this Indianapolis looks like he's just doing a good job zigzagging back and forth. And I see him turn back in. And that means these torps are going to be looking real good. I go on ahead and I shoot right here. I just want to create a moment where he's confused. Where'd I get shot from? Just try to utilize any sort of distraction I can just to ensure that I've got the best chance for those torpedoes to hit, because that's one of the priority targets in this game for me, was eliminating that radar cruiser. Scharnhorst is up. He's pretty much otherwise focused on my Nelson. So just going to start putting shots in. I would not be able to take these shots if without AFT. So right here, this is where AFT is nice to have. And as you can see, that you still get pretty reasonable DPM out there at 11, 12 kilometers. The guns are Japanese 127 millimeter guns can get kind of floaty out beyond 12, 13 kilometers, but you can still make it work. They're actually not that bad under 12 kilometers. And I just, putting in harassing fire on the Scharnhorst. That last volley got a piece of him, got lucky with a second fire. And I'm just letting this guy tick right now. There's no sense in me shooting while he's burning good. And I'm closing the distance. My next target, I've got a enemy Nuremberg out there somewhere. This cyclone's starting to set in, so I know that I'm going to be in a situation where I'm going to need to fight a Nuremberg here shortly, and it's probably going to be under 8 kilometers. As the Scharnhorst starts ticking his final, I go on ahead and I just take a shot. Just want to make sure that I'm able to secure the kill. Nuremberg pops up and it's pretty much off to the races. I'm not in the best position because I've got an island behind me, but I did just pop speed boost, and I've got 3 minutes of pretty much being a race car. So he's still shooting behind me. I think this volley he gets a one shot in on my stern, but at this point I'm around the island. I'm going to be able to kite, and it's going to start to be really difficult to deal with me. Here I'm just throwing torps out on this side of the island. I kind of expected him to turn right in and try to rush me. And I think about trying to rush him for a minute, decide against it, and just gonna turn out. And Nuremberg's in my face. I have no idea what that shot was. But this is just going to be dirty. And I mean, you can... There's no IFHE or anything like that on these guns. This is just nasty. I even tried some AP. This is a really squishy ship. Not able to get any citadels, so I just switched back to HE. I mean, there's 50 alpha less on the HE, plus you get the fire chance. So since citadels aren't really, you know, in the cards, I just might as well use HE. Now I'm up on the map border, and that's making me a little easier to hit. I'm a little more predictable, but it's really not gonna change the outcome. This guy's gonna burn down. I basically just kited him right outside of 8 kilometers and disengaged thanks to the cyclone. And you know, that was pretty much the end of the Nuremberg. If I would have had basic firing training there, I would have killed him a lot quicker. He did end up getting one good hit on me at the very end of that engagement, which is kind of sad, but it happens. So aside from this, the rest of this game is just kind of a race for the cap. The enemy teams, you know, I don't know what they're doing, but the purpose of this was to illustrate a different sort of build on this, and that's kind of a general harassment build. The Japanese torp boats really tend to be shot at quite frequently, especially if it's high tier, especially as Shima. It seems like that's one of the most hated destroyers in the game. The change in focus fire from a Yagumo to a Shimakaze is dramatically different. Buddy, get out of that cabinet. And you know, it's one of those things that you get this sort of harassment build where you can shoot from a relatively safe distance, and next thing you know, you're able to break up enemies' focus fire. Everybody kind of has that, ooh, it's a DD, shoot at it, and reaction, and it ends up helping your team, because if the team's shooting at you and you're able to dodge shots, you know, you're looking pretty solid. You're basically doing what a battleship can do, except you're just tanking, but you're not taking the hits. And then just the trick to it is learning how to blend your torpedoes with this sort of setup. You basically come in at a good torp position, you drop your torps, and you know, you start shooting as you know, you're kiting away. This game's getting ready to end here, so I'm going to slow it down real quick. You know, you wait like I did until the torps are very close to hitting, and then you start opening fire, and I'm just going to pause it. And then you can just keep firing. If you score any floodings, which if you get any hits, it's a Japanese DD. Yes, you want back up, buddy? You want back up? Hi. You're able to follow it up with fires, and because you're able to engage at a safer range, you can really farm some fire damage here. I mean, I got 4 fires here. Oh, stay out of my coffee, buddy. And you know, this I still didn't use any smoke this game. If there would have been more enemy ships, if there wouldn't have been a cyclone, I probably could have played this more aggressive. There'd be a lot more gunplay. But it's just to show you another potential aspect that we can explore with gunboat builds on these Japanese torp boats. So hope you guys enjoyed the game. Let me know what you think below, and I will talk to you guys later. Hope you're having a good night. And apparently I'm a stat whore. Thought you all should know.
Well,